Stonehenge, England, the ancient stones of mystery. Welcome, dear listener, and welcome to the first chapter of our enchanting journey through the most mysterious places on earth. Tonight, as you settle into the comfort of your bed and let the day's worries slip away like shadows in the dusk, we invite you to imagine yourself standing on a vast, windswept plain in southern England. The air hums with the weight of untold centuries, and the faint whisper of ancient secrets brushes against your ears. Before you rise the towering stones of Stonehenge, their rugged surfaces etched with the passage of time, standing like silent guardians of a forgotten age. This is our first stop in a series that will sweep you through the history and enigma of the world's most captivating places. So take a slow, deep breath, close your eyes, and let the story of these ancient stones carry you gently into the realm of dreams. The scene unfolds. Picture this. Salisbury Plain stretches out before you, a rolling expanse of green under a sky that shifts from golden hues to twilight's deep embrace. In the distance, a circle of massive stones looms, their silhouettes stark against the fading light. Stonehenge is no mere ruin. It's a presence, a monument that seems to breathe with the pulse of the earth itself. For over 5,000 years, these stones have stood here, weathering storms, witnessing the rise and fall of civilizations, and guarding secrets that refuse to yield easily to modern minds. The circle is not perfect. Some stones lean, others have fallen, yet the arrangement feels deliberate, purposeful. The largest of them, the sarsen stones, tower up to 30 feet high, their surfaces rough and unyielding. Nestled within are the smaller bluestones, their dark, smooth forms hinting at a journey far stranger than the sarsens. Together, they form a structure that feels both alien and familiar, a riddle carved in stone that has puzzled humanity for millennia, a tapestry of time. The story of Stonehenge begins in the dim mists of the Neolithic era, around 3100 BC. Imagine a people just beginning to tame the wild earth, farmers who traded the wandering life of hunters for the stability of crops and herds. They dug a circular ditch here, perhaps with tools of antler and bone, and raised wooden posts in a pattern lost to time. This was the first whisper of Stonehenge, a humble beginning for a monument destined to grow into legend. Centuries passed, and around 2500 BC, the site transformed. The wooden posts gave way to stone, and the true marvel began to take shape. The sarsen stones, quarried from the Marlborough Downs some 20 miles away, were hauled across the plain, each one a colossal burden weighing up to 30 tons. How did they move them? Perhaps with sledges and rollers, ropes straining under the weight, and the sheer will of countless hands working as one. Then there are the bluestones, smaller yet no less astonishing. These came from the Preseli Hills in Wales, over 150 miles distant, a journey that defies imagination. Were they floated down rivers on rafts, dragged overland through mud and mire, or carried by some forgotten magic? The question lingers, unanswered, like a thread dangling from a tapestry. The construction unfolded in phases, each generation adding to the work of those before. By the Bronze Age, newcomers, the Beaker people, brought fresh ideas and skills, shaping Stonehenge into the form we know today. It's a story of persistence, of a vision so powerful it spanned centuries. But what vision was it? What dream drove them to such lengths? Whispers of purpose. Stonehenge is a monument of mystery, its purpose shrouded in shadow. Was it a temple, a sacred space where priests chanted to unseen gods? Archaeologists have found cremated remains buried within its bounds, hinting at a role as a resting place for the dead, perhaps a cemetery for the elite, a bridge between the living and the spirits beyond. Yet there's more to it than death alone. Stand at Stonehenge on the summer solstice, and you'll see the sun rise over the heelstone, its rays piercing the heart of the circle with uncanny precision. This alignment speaks of a people who watched the heavens, who tracked the dance of sun and moon to mark the seasons. Was it a calendar, a way to time planting and harvest? Or was it an observatory, a stone-built map of the cosmos? The stars offer no clear answer, only more questions. Some whisper of healing powers locked within the bluestones. Legends say these rocks, prized from distant whales, held mystical energy, drawing the sick and the desperate to their embrace. Bones found nearby, some broken, some diseased, support the tale, painting a picture of pilgrims seeking solace. But was healing the heart of Stonehenge, or just one thread in its woven purpose? The hands that built it. Who were these builders, these architects of the impossible? The Neolithic farmers who began it lived close to the land, their days ruled by sun and soil. They knew stone and wood, and their unity turned raw strength into something eternal. Later, the Beaker people arrived, their bronze tools glinting in the dawn of a new age. Together, these peoples poured their lives into Stonehenge, passing the task from parent to child across generations. Imagine them, sweat-streaked faces, voices raised in song or prayer, hands calloused from dragging stone. What bound them to this labor? Faith in a higher power? A need to mark their place in the world? Or a story we've yet to uncover? Their tools were simple, their methods ingenious, and their legacy endures where empires have crumbled. The stones speak. The stones themselves are a marvel. The sarsens, hewn from local sandstone, are giants, immovable, unyielding, their surfaces pitted by time. The bluestones, though smaller, carry a stranger tale, born of dolerite and rhyolite in the Welsh hills. They traveled a path no glacier could fully explain. Did rafts bear them along ancient waterways, or did human hands pull them mile after grueling mile? Modern science leans toward the latter. Quarries and trails in Wales bear witness to a feat of will and muscle. But why these stones? What power did the builders see in them that justified such a journey? Touch a bluestone, and you might feel it, the echo of a purpose lost to time. Were they sacred, imbued with meaning we can only guess at? The effort to bring them here suggests a story deeper than utility, a belief that resonates through the ages. Rituals in the shadows. Step into the circle and you sense it, a place alive with the past. The solstice alignment is no fluke. It ties Stonehenge to the sky, to the endless wheel of seasons. On that longest day, the sun's light floods the stones, and you can almost hear the chants of those who stood here millennia ago. What rites unfolded here? Did they honor the sun, the earth, the departed? The Aubrey holes ringing the site once held posts, or perhaps stones, marking graves or guiding processions. Death and life intertwine here, a dance of reverence and mystery. The cremated remains tell of sacrifice or tribute, of bodies laid to rest in a place deemed holy. Was Stonehenge a portal, a threshold where the mortal met the divine? The wind carries no answers, only the faint echo of ancient voices. An unfinished tale. Stonehenge defies us still. Beneath the earth, radar reveals more: burial mounds, pathways, a sprawling network hinting at a grander design. It was no lone monument, but part of a vast sacred landscape, a world we're only beginning to glimpse. Each find peels back a layer, yet the core remains elusive. Who conceived it? What did it mean to stand within its embrace? Today, you can walk its perimeter, trace the stones with wondering eyes, and feel the pull of history. The Visitor Center offers clues, tools, theories, fragments of the past, but the true story lives in the stones themselves. Scholars dig, dreamers muse, and still, Stonehenge holds its secrets close, daring us to imagine. And so, dear listener, we pause here on the edge of Stonehenge's enigma. The stones stand silent, but their tale is far from told. In our next chapter, we'll sail to a place where the sea swallows ships and skies claim wings, a mystery as deep as the ocean itself. For now, let Stonehenge linger in your mind, its ancient whispers guiding you into the soft arms of sleep. The Bermuda Triangle, the Sea of Lost Souls. In the vast expanse of the Atlantic Ocean, where the warm waters of the Gulf Stream meet the cool air of the North, lies a stretch of sea that has baffled sailors, pilots, and scientists for decades. Known as the Bermuda Triangle, this enigmatic region, bounded by Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, has earned a reputation as one of the most mysterious places on Earth. Ships vanish without a trace, planes fall from the sky, and compasses spin wildly, as if the laws of nature themselves bend in this cursed triangle. But what lies beneath the surface of these legends? Is it a place of supernatural forces, or simply a graveyard of human error and natural fury? As we delve into the history of the Bermuda Triangle, let us explore the tales of those who dared to cross its waters and the mysteries that swallowed them whole. A map of mystery. Picture the Atlantic Ocean, its waves rolling endlessly under a sky that shifts from serene blue to storm-tossed gray in the blink of an eye. Within this vastness, the Bermuda Triangle stretches like an invisible web, its points anchored by three distant lands: the sun-soaked shores of Miami, the rocky cliffs of Bermuda, and the lush hills of Puerto Rico. It's a region that spans over 500,000 square miles, a watery wilderness where the sea seems to hold its breath, waiting for the next soul to claim. The triangle's legend began to take shape in the mid-20th century, but its roots reach back further to the days when sailors first whispered of cursed waters and vanishing ships. Christopher Columbus himself, on his voyage to the New World in 1492, reported strange lights in the sky and erratic compass readings as he sailed through the area. Was this an omen of the mysteries to come? The sea, it seemed, had always held secrets here, waiting for the curious to uncover them. The vanishing of Flight 19. The most famous tale of the Bermuda Triangle is that of Flight 19, a squadron of 5 U.S. Navy bombers that disappeared on December 5, 1945. The mission was routine, a training flight over the Atlantic, but it would become anything but ordinary. Led by Lieutenant Charles Taylor, the planes took off from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, into a clear sky. But as they flew deeper into the triangle, something went terribly wrong. Radio transmissions crackled with confusion. Everything looked strange, even the ocean. One pilot reported, "We are completely lost." Taylor's voice grew frantic as he struggled to make sense of his surroundings. The compasses spun wildly, the horizon blurred, and the sea below seemed to swallow their bearings. Then, silence. The planes never returned, and a massive search operation involving hundreds of ships and aircraft found no trace of the men or their machines. It was as if the sky had opened up and claimed them whole. But the mystery deepened. A rescue plane sent to search for Flight 19 also vanished without a trace. No wreckage, no distress calls, just an empty sea and a sky that refused to yield its secrets. What could explain such a disappearance? Was it a sudden storm, a mechanical failure, or something far more sinister? A graveyard of ships and souls. Flight 19 was not the first, or the last, to vanish in the Bermuda Triangle. The sea has claimed countless vessels, their names etched into the annals of maritime lore. The USS Cyclops, a massive Navy cargo ship, disappeared in 1918 with 306 souls aboard. No distress signal, no debris, just gone. The Mary Celeste, found adrift in 1872, its crew missing, but the ship eerily intact. And the SS Marine Sulphur Queen, a tanker that vanished in 1963, leaving only a faint oil slick in its wake. Each disappearance adds to the triangle's dark allure, fueling speculation and fear. Some speak of rogue waves, towering walls of water that rise without warning, capable of swallowing ships whole. Others whisper of methane gas bubbles erupting from the ocean floor, sinking vessels in a froth of foam. And then there are the tales of magnetic anomalies, where compasses lose their way and navigation becomes a game of chance. But do these explanations hold water, or is there something more at play? Theories from the edge of reason. The Bermuda Triangle has spawned 1,000 theories, each more outlandish than the last. Some believe it is a portal to another dimension, a tear in the fabric of space-time where ships and planes slip into the unknown. Others claim it is a hotspot for alien activity, with UFOs snatching vessels from the sea and sky. And then there are the legends of Atlantis, the lost city said to lie beneath the waves, its ancient technology wreaking havoc on modern machines. But science offers a calmer voice. The triangle, they say, is no more dangerous than any other stretch of ocean. The disappearances can be explained by human error, unpredictable weather, and the sheer volume of traffic that passes through the area. The Gulf Stream, a swift current that flows through the triangle, can sweep away debris, leaving no trace of disaster. And the region's sudden storms, born from the clash of warm and cold air, can catch even the most seasoned sailors off guard. Yet for all the logic, the mystery endures. Why do we cling to the unknown, even in the face of reason? A place that defies explanation. The Bermuda Triangle remains a puzzle, a riddle wrapped in the waves. Its legend has grown with each passing decade, fueled by books, films, and the human hunger for the unexplained. But beyond the myths, there is a truth that cannot be denied. The sea is vast, and its depths hold secrets we may never fully understand. The triangle, with its tales of loss and wonder, reminds us that even in our modern age, there are places where the map still reads, "Here be monsters." As we leave the Bermuda Triangle behind, we carry with us the whispers of its mysteries, the unanswered questions, the vanished souls, and the sea that refuses to give up its dead. But our journey through the world's most mysterious places is far from over. In the next chapter, we will travel to the sun-scorched deserts of Peru, where ancient lines etched into the earth tell a story as old as time itself. What secrets will we uncover there? Stay with us, and let's find out together. The Nazca Lines, Peru, the desert's silent storytellers. In the sun-scorched heart of southern Peru, where the earth cracks under the relentless heat and the horizon stretches endlessly, lies a mystery etched into the very ground itself. The Nazca Lines, a series of massive geoglyphs carved into the desert floor, have baffled explorers and scientists and dreamers for centuries. These ancient designs, some as large as a football field, depict animals, plants, and strange geometric shapes, their purpose lost to time. Visible only from the sky, they seem to whisper secrets from a forgotten age, daring us to unlock their meaning. As we journey through the story of the Nazca Lines, let us explore the land where they were born, the people who created them, and the enigma that still lingers over the desert sands. What message were these silent storytellers trying to send? And why can their tale only be read from the heavens? A canvas of stone and silence. Picture a vast, arid plain where the wind stirs the dust and the sun beats down on a landscape so dry it seems almost lifeless. This is the Nazca Desert, a place where rain is a rare visitor and the earth is a patchwork of red and brown. Yet beneath this harsh exterior lies a marvel of human ingenuity. The Nazca Lines are not mere scratches on the surface. They are monumental works of art, created by removing the top layer of dark, sun-baked stones to reveal the lighter soil beneath. The result is a series of intricate designs that stretch for miles, their lines so precise they seem drawn by a giant's hand. The Nazca Lines cover an area of nearly 500 square kilometers, their scale so immense that many of the figures can only be fully appreciated from the air. Imagine soaring above the desert in a small plane, the ground below unfolding like a canvas. There, etched into the earth, you see a hummingbird with wings outstretched, a spider crawling across the sand, a monkey with a curling tail, and a strange, humanoid figure that locals call the astronaut. Each shape is a masterpiece, their lines unbroken, their forms eerily perfect. But how did a people living over 1,500 years ago create such wonders? And more importantly, why? The people of the desert. To understand the Nazca Lines, we must first meet the people who made them. The Nazca culture flourished in this region between 500 BCE and 500 CE, a time when the desert was not quite as barren as it is today. These were farmers and artisans, skilled in pottery and textiles, who built a civilization in harmony with their harsh environment. They dug underground aqueducts to channel water from distant springs, turning the desert into a patchwork of green fields. Their society was complex, with a rich spiritual life that revered the forces of nature, especially water, the lifeblood of their world. But the Nazca were also a people of mystery. Their geoglyphs, some stretching over 1,000 feet, were not created for idle amusement. These were deliberate acts, requiring immense effort and coordination. Teams of workers would have spent months, perhaps years, clearing the stones and shaping the designs, all without the benefit of modern tools or aerial views to guide them. The precision of their work is astonishing. Lines that run straight for miles, curves that form perfect spirals. What drove them to such monumental labor? Was it devotion, desperation, or something else entirely? Theories written in the sand. The purpose of the Nazca lines has puzzled scholars for decades, and the theories are as varied as the designs themselves. One of the earliest ideas came from archaeologist Paul Kosok in the 1930s, who noticed that some lines aligned with the winter solstice. He called the desert the largest astronomy book in the world, suggesting the geoglyphs were a celestial calendar marking the movements of the sun, moon, and stars. But while some lines do align with astronomical events, not all do, leaving the theory incomplete. Another theory, proposed by German mathematician Maria Rieke, who dedicated her life to studying the lines, suggests they were part of religious rituals. Rieke believed the figures were offerings to the gods, perhaps pleas for rain in a land where water was scarce. The animal shapes, hummingbirds, condors, and whales, may have symbolized the elements, air, earth, and water. But if this was the case, why make them so large, and why design them to be seen from above, as if for the eyes of the gods themselves? More recently, some researchers have proposed that the lines were pathways for ceremonial processions, guiding worshippers across the desert in sacred journeys. The geometric shapes, spirals, zigzags, and straight lines could have been routes for these rituals, their patterns imbued with spiritual meaning. Yet even this theory leaves questions unanswered. Why create such vast designs if they were only meant to be walked upon? The astronaut and the owl man. Among the hundreds of figures, a few stand out for their strangeness. One, often called the astronaut, depicts a humanoid figure with a large, round head and waving arms, as if signaling to the sky. Its alien-like appearance has fueled wild speculation. Could it be evidence of ancient visitors from beyond the stars? Or is it simply a shaman, arms raised in prayer? Another figure, known as the Owl Man, shows a bird-headed being holding what appears to be a severed human head. This grisly image hints at the darker side of Nazca culture, where human sacrifice may have played a role in their rituals. Trophy heads, often depicted in Nazca art, were believed to hold spiritual power. But what connection does this have to the lines? Were the geoglyphs part of a larger, more complex belief system that we have yet to fully understand? A mystery that endures. The Nazca lines are not just an archaeological puzzle. They are a testament to the creativity and determination of a people who turned a barren desert into a canvas of wonder. Yet for all our theories, the true purpose of the lines remains elusive. Perhaps that is part of their magic. They remind us that not all of history's secrets are meant to be solved, that some stories are best left to the imagination. Today, the Nazca Lines are a UNESCO World Heritage Site, protected for future generations to marvel at and ponder. Visitors can take flights over the desert, tracing the shapes from above, or walk along viewing platforms to catch a glimpse of the figures up close. But the lines are fragile. Each footprint, each gust of wind threatens to erase them. Conservation efforts are ongoing, ensuring that these silent storytellers continue to speak for centuries to come. As we leave the Nazca Desert behind, we carry with us the whispers of its mysteries, the unanswered questions, the strange figures, and the endless lines that stretch toward the horizon. But our journey through the world's most mysterious places is far from over. In the next chapter, we will travel to the mist-shrouded peaks of the Andes, where an ancient city hides among the clouds. What secrets will we uncover there? Stay with us, and let's find out together. Machu Picchu, Peru, the lost city of the Incas. High in the Andes Mountains, where the air is thin and the clouds drift like ghosts, lies a city that time forgot. Machu Picchu, often called the lost city of the Incas, is a marvel of stone and sky, its terraces and temples clinging to the edge of a cliff, surrounded by jagged peaks and endless jungle. For centuries it lay hidden, its secrets buried beneath vines and mist, until a chance discovery brought it back into the light. But who built this city in the clouds? And why was it abandoned, only to be reclaimed by the jungle? As we journey through the history of Machu Picchu, let us explore the mystery of its creation, the people who once called it home, and the legacy it left behind. What secrets does this ancient city still hold? And how did it survive the ravages of time to become one of the world's most iconic wonders? A city in the sky. Imagine standing on a narrow ridge, 2,430 meters above sea level, with the Urubamba River snaking far below. The air is cool and crisp, the silence broken only by the distant call of birds and the whisper of the wind. This is Machu Picchu, a place where the earth seems to touch the heavens. The city is a masterpiece of engineering, its stone walls fitted together without mortar, so precisely that not even a blade of grass can slip between them. Terraces cascade down the mountainside, once lush with crops, while temples and palaces perch on the cliff's edge, their stones aligned with the sun and stars. Machu Picchu was built in the 15th century during the height of the Inca Empire, under the reign of Emperor Pachacuti. The Incas were master builders, their empire stretching across the Andes, from modern-day Colombia to Chile. But Machu Picchu was not just another city. It was a royal retreat, a sacred site, and perhaps a center of learning. Its location, hidden among the peaks, suggests it was a place of refuge, far from the prying eyes of enemies. But why choose such a remote and challenging spot? What drove the Incas to build a city in the clouds? The people of the mountain. The Incas who lived at Machu Picchu were a small elite group, priests, nobles, and skilled artisans. They tended the terraces, growing maize and potatoes, and raised llamas and alpacas for wool and meat. The city was self-sufficient, with its own water supply channeled from mountain springs. But life here was not just about survival. It was about connection to the divine. The Incas worshipped the sun, the moon, and the mountains, believing that the peaks were sacred beings. Machu Picchu's temples, like the Temple of the Sun and the Intihuatana stone, were designed to align with celestial events, marking the solstices and equinoxes with uncanny precision. Was Machu Picchu a spiritual center, a place where the Incas communed with their gods? Or was it a fortress guarding the empire's western frontier? The city's layout reflects the Incas' deep understanding of nature. The agricultural sector, with its terraces, harnessed the steep slopes for farming, while the urban sector housed homes, workshops, and ceremonial spaces. The royal tomb, a cave-like structure, may have held the remains of Pachacuti himself, though no bodies have ever been found. The Incas left no written records, so much of Machu Picchu's purpose remains a mystery. But their legacy is etched into the stone, each block a testament to their ingenuity and reverence for the land. A city lost to time. Machu Picchu's story took a dramatic turn in the 16th century when the Spanish conquistadors arrived in Peru. The Incas, weakened by civil war and disease, were no match for the invaders. By 1572, the empire had fallen and Machu Picchu was abandoned. But why was it left to crumble? Did the Incas flee to avoid capture, or was the city simply too remote to maintain? For nearly 400 years, Machu Picchu lay hidden, its walls overtaken by jungle, its secrets buried beneath layers of vegetation. In 1911, American explorer Hiram Bingham stumbled upon the ruins while searching for Vilcabamba, the last stronghold of the Incas. Guided by local farmers, he climbed through the dense forest and emerged into a clearing where the city lay, half swallowed by nature. Bingham's discovery electrified the world. Here was a city that had defied time, its stones still standing, its terraces still intact. But Bingham's arrival also sparked controversy. He removed thousands of artifacts, many of which remain in museums far from Peru. Was Machu Picchu truly lost, or was it simply waiting to be found? A mystery that endures. Today, Machu Picchu is one of the most visited archaeological sites in the world, its beauty and mystery drawing travelers from every corner of the globe. Visitors can explore the Sun Gate, where the first rays of dawn illuminate the city, or stand in the Temple of the Three Windows, gazing out at the mountains that the Incas revered. The Inca Trail, a 4-day trek through the Andes, offers a glimpse into the journey the Incas themselves might have taken to reach their sacred city. But Machu Picchu's story is far from complete. Archaeologists continue to uncover new clues, hidden chambers, ancient tools, and even the remains of ceremonial offerings. Some believe the city was a royal estate, others a religious sanctuary, and still others a fortress or a university. The truth, like the city itself, remains elusive, a puzzle that invites us to dream and wonder. What other secrets lie buried beneath the stones? And what would the Incas say if they could see their city today? A legacy carved in stone, Machu Picchu is more than a relic of the past. It is a testament to the brilliance of the Inca civilization, a people who built an empire in harmony with the land. Its survival, against all odds, reminds us that beauty and ingenuity can endure, even in the harshest of environments. As we leave Machu Picchu behind, we carry with us the whispers of its history, the footsteps of priests, the laughter of children, and the quiet prayers of those who once called this city home. But our journey through the world's most mysterious places is far from over. In the next chapter, we will travel to a distant island in the Pacific where giant stone faces gaze out at the sea, their origins as enigmatic as the stars above. What secrets will we uncover there? Stay with us and let's find out together. The Moai statues, Easter Island, the silent giants of the Pacific. In the vast, empty expanse of the Pacific Ocean, over 2,000 miles from the nearest continent, lies a tiny speck of land that holds one of the world's greatest mysteries. Easter Island, known as Rapa Nui to its people, is a place of stark beauty, volcanic cliffs, rolling hills, and endless horizons. But it is not the island's isolation that captivates the world. It is the hundreds of stone giants that stand watch over its shores. The Moai statues, with their towering forms and solemn faces, have stood for centuries, their origins and purpose shrouded in mystery. Who carved these colossal figures? How were they moved across the island without modern tools? And what drove a civilization to create them, only to vanish into the shadows of history? As we journey through the story of the Moai, let us explore the island that birthed them, the people who carved them, and the enigma that still surrounds them. What secrets do these silent giants hold, and what can they teach us about the rise and fall of a once great civilization, a land lost in time? Imagine a place so remote that it feels like the edge of the world. Easter Island is a mere 64 square miles, a tiny triangle of volcanic rock adrift in the Pacific. Its nearest neighbor, Pitcairn Island, is over 1,200 miles away, and the coast of Chile lies a staggering 2,200 miles to the east. This isolation has shaped the island's history, creating a unique culture that flourished and faltered far from the eyes of the world. The island's story begins around 1200 AD, when Polynesian voyagers, guided by the stars and the sea, arrived on its shores. These settlers, the Rapa Nui people, brought with them a rich tradition of craftsmanship, farming, and reverence for their ancestors. Over time, they transformed the island into a thriving community with villages, farms, and ceremonial sites. But it was their most ambitious creation, the Moai, that would define their legacy. What inspired them to undertake such a monumental task? And how did they achieve it with only stone tools and sheer will? The birth of the Moai. The Moai are more than statues. They are masterpieces of engineering and art. Carved from volcanic tuff, a soft stone found in the island's Rano-Raraku crater, each Moai was hewn with basalt tools, their features carefully shaped over months or even years. The statues range from 6 to 33 feet tall, with some weighing up to 82 tons. Their faces are elongated, with prominent brows, sharp noses, and pursed lips, giving them an air of quiet authority. Most Moai stand on ceremonial platforms called ahu, facing inland as if watching over the island's people. But the Moai's creation is only half the mystery. Once carved, these massive statues were transported across the island, some as far as 11 miles, to their final resting places. How did the Rapa Nui move them without wheels or draft animals? Theories abound. Some believe the statues were rolled on logs, while others suggest they were walked using a system of ropes and rocking motions. Recent experiments have shown that a team of fewer than 20 people could move a Moai replica, but the true method remains a subject of debate. What drove the Rapa Nui to invest such effort in these stone giants? Was it devotion, competition, or something deeper? The purpose of the stone sentinels. The Moai are not mere decorations. They are steeped in meaning. Archaeologists believe they were created to honor ancestors, serving as embodiments of powerful chiefs or deities. The statue's eyes, once inlaid with coral, would have gazed across the island, offering protection and guidance. Some theories suggest that the Moai were part of a complex religious system, with each clan erecting statues to assert their status and connection to the divine. The larger the Moai, the greater the clan's prestige. But the statues may have served a practical purpose as well. Their placement along the coast, facing inland, could have marked territorial boundaries or guided fishermen back to shore. Others believe the Moai were linked to the island's scarce resources, perhaps acting as symbols of fertility in a land where survival depended on careful management of crops and water. Yet for all these theories, the true purpose of the Moai remains elusive. What message were the Rapa Nui trying to send through these towering figures? And why did they stop building them? A civilization's rise and fall. The story of the Moai is also the story of the Rapa Nui civilization's rise and fall. At its peak, the island was home to thousands of people organized into clans that competed to build the largest and most impressive statues. But this competition came at a cost. The island's forests were felled to make way for agriculture and to build the sledges and levers needed to move the Moai. By the 17th century, the trees were gone, and with them, the island's ability to sustain its population. The loss of trees led to soil erosion, food shortages, and social unrest. Clans turned against each other, toppling rival Moai in acts of defiance. European contact in the 18th century brought further devastation. Disease, slave raids, and cultural disruption decimated the Rapa Nui population. By the late 19th century, only a few hundred people remained, their once great civilization reduced to memory. But what lessons can we learn from their story? And how does the legacy of the Moai endure? The Moai today, a legacy preserved. In 1914, British archaeologist Catherine Routledge arrived on Easter Island, captivated by the Moai and determined to uncover their secrets. Her work, along with that of later researchers like Thor Heyerdahl, brought global attention to the island's plight. Today, Easter Island is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and efforts to preserve the Moai are ongoing. Conservationists work to stabilize the statues, protect them from erosion, and manage the impact of tourism, which brings both revenue and risk. The Rapa Nui people, too, are reclaiming their heritage. Through cultural revival programs, they are reviving traditional practices, language, and art, ensuring that the story of the Moai is told by those who know it best. Visitors to the island can explore the Rano Raraku quarry, where unfinished Moai still lie half-carved in the rock, or walk among the restored Ahu, where the statues stand tall once more. But even as we marvel at their beauty, the Moai remain a mystery, a silent testament to a civilization that dared to dream big, even in the face of isolation. A mystery that lives on. The Moai of Easter Island are more than relics. They are a reminder of humanity's capacity for both creation and destruction. They stand as symbols of ingenuity, devotion, and the delicate balance between ambition and sustainability. As we gaze upon their weathered faces, we are left to wonder, what drove the Rapa Nui to build these giants? And what can their story teach us about our own world? But our journey through the world's most mysterious places is far from over. In the next chapter, we will travel to a land where fire burns eternal and the earth itself seems to breathe with life. What secrets will we uncover there? Stay with us and let's find out together. The door to hell, Turkmenistan, the eternal flame of the desert. Picture a land where the earth itself seems to breathe fire, where the night sky glows with an eerie, unyielding light. Deep within the heart of Turkmenistan's Karakum Desert, a place of endless sands and whispered secrets, there burns a crater known as the Door to Hell. For over 5 decades, Its flames have danced without pause, casting shadows that twist and sway across the dunes. This is no ordinary fire. It is a blaze born of human hands and sustained by forces far older than we can fathom. How did this fiery abyss come to be? What keeps it burning through the years, defying all attempts to silence its roar? As we embark on this tale, let us wander through the desert's vastness, uncover the moments that sparked this wonder, and linger in the mystery that still surrounds it. What lies beneath the flames, and what does this eternal glow reveal about the world beneath our feet, the desert's hidden heart? Close your eyes and imagine a sea of sand stretching beyond sight, where the sun beats down with relentless fury and the wind sings a haunting tune through the emptiness. The Karakum Desert, sprawling across nearly 3/4 of Turkmenistan, is a land of stark beauty and unforgiving silence. By day, the heat shimmers in waves above the dunes. By night, the stars pierce the darkness like shards of glass. It is a place where time feels suspended, where the horizon dares you to chase it, only to slip further away. Beneath this desolate expanse, however, the earth holds treasures, vast reserves of oil and gas, locked away in chambers formed over eons. In the spring of 1971, a group of Soviet geologists ventured into this remote wilderness, their minds set on tapping into the desert's hidden wealth. They brought with them a towering drilling rig, its metal frame stark against the golden sands, and began to pierce the earth's crust. The hum of machinery filled the air as they drilled deeper, chasing the promise of natural gas. But the Karakum is a land of surprises. Suddenly the ground trembled and gave way, collapsing beneath the rig in a thunderous roar. The equipment vanished into a gaping hole, a crater more than 200 feet wide and 65 feet deep, as methane gas poured forth like an invisible river. What had they awakened in the desert's depths? And how would they tame the beast they had unleashed? The birth of an endless blaze. The crater yawned before the geologists, a wound in the earth exhaling a deadly breath. Methane, odorless and unseen, filled the air, threatening the lives of those nearby and the scattered villages beyond. With few options and time running short, the team made a fateful choice. They would set the gas alight. A spark flared, and the crater erupted into a sea of flame, its heat rippling through the cool desert night. They believed the fire would consume the gas and die out within weeks, leaving the land quiet once more. But the desert had other plans. Weeks stretched into months, months into years, and now, more than half a century later, the door to hell burns on, its light a constant star in the Karakum's dark embrace. What fuels this relentless inferno? The answer lies in the geology of the land itself. Turkmenistan rests atop a subterranean ocean of natural gas, one of the richest reserves on Earth. The Karakum Desert, nestled within the ancient Turan Depression, is a cradle of geological marvels, where long-gone seas have left behind pockets of hydrocarbons trapped beneath layers of sand and stone. The collapse of the drilling site opened a pathway to this reservoir, and the fire, once ignited, found an endless feast. It burns not just with gas, but with the weight of time, a living testament to the forces that shape our planet. Stand near its edge and you can feel the heat kiss your skin, hear the flames whisper secrets of the deep, whispers in the firelight. To the people of Turkmenistan, the door to hell is more than a scientific marvel. It is a place where stories take root and grow. Known locally as the Darvaza gas crater, it has become a canvas for tales that weave through the desert's fabric. Some say it is a gateway to a fiery underworld where spirits flicker in the flames, their voices carried on the wind that sweeps the sands. Others see it as a sacred flame, lit by the hands of fate to guard the desert's soul. The nomads who traverse these lands speak of it in hushed tones, their eyes reflecting its glow as they share their legends. One such story tells of a lone traveler, a herder caught in a sandstorm that swallowed the world in dust. Blinded and lost, he wandered until a distant light pierced the haze, the crater's fire burning steady and bright. Guided by its warmth, he found his way to safety, forever swearing that the flames had called his name. Another tale murmurs of a treasure buried beneath the blaze, a hoard of gold and gems cursed to remain untouched. Only the boldest dare to seek it, but the fire's embrace has claimed all who try. These stories, passed from elder to child, wrap the door to hell in a shroud of enchantment, making it a place where reality bends and the impossible feels near, a glow that beckons the world. Today, the door to hell draws more than just storytellers. It calls to explorers from distant lands. Adventurers trek across the desert to stand at its rim, their faces illuminated by the ceaseless fire. Tour guides lead groups to its edge, where the roar of the flames drowns out the silence, and the heat paints the night in shades of amber and red. Camping beneath the stars, with the crater's glow as a companion, is an experience unlike any other, a chance to witness a piece of the earth alive with fury and grace. Yet this wonder comes with a shadow. The fire releases plumes of carbon dioxide and methane, gases that drift into the sky and linger in the air we breathe. Scientists and leaders have debated its fate. Should it be extinguished, its gas harnessed, or left to burn as a monument to human misadventure? For now, it remains untouched, a raw and wild spectacle. The Turkmen government dreams of shaping it into a grand attraction, with paths and platforms to welcome more visitors, but the crater resists taming. It stands as it always has, a fiery heart beating in the desert's chest. The flame that never fades. The door to hell is a riddle wrapped in flame, a place where human intent met the earth's will and birthed something eternal. It speaks of our reach and our limits, of the mysteries we uncover and those we leave unsolved. As its light flickers across the dunes, it asks us to wonder, what else lies hidden beneath the ground we walk? What other wonders or warnings wait to be found? In its glow, we find a story that never ends, a spark that invites us to keep searching. Our journey through the world's strangest corners continues. Next, we'll descend into the shadowed depths of Paris, where bones line the walls of a forgotten city beneath the streets. What tales will those silent tunnels tell? Stay curious, and let's discover them together. The Paris Catacombs, France, the city beneath the city. Imagine, if you will, a world hidden beneath the glittering streets of Paris, a world of shadows, silence, and secrets. Here, in the cool, damp embrace of the earth, lies a labyrinth so vast it stretches for over 200 miles, its tunnels twisting and turning like the roots of an ancient tree. This is the Paris Catacombs, a place where history sleeps and the past whispers through the bones of millions. As you step into this subterranean realm, the air grows still The light fades, and the city above seems to vanish, leaving only the echo of your footsteps on the stone. What lies ahead in this underground maze? And what stories do these silent corridors hold? The tale of the catacombs begins not with death, but with life. In the 12th century, as Paris blossomed into a thriving medieval city, its builders needed stone to construct grand cathedrals, palaces, and homes. They turned to the earth beneath their feet, quarrying limestone from deep underground. Over the centuries, these quarries grew into a sprawling network of tunnels, a hidden city beneath the city. But by the late 18th century, Paris faced a new challenge, one that would transform these forgotten tunnels into a place of eternal rest. At that time, the city's cemeteries were bursting at the seams. The largest, the Cimetière des Innocents, had been in use for nearly 1,000 years, its graves so overcrowded that the ground swelled with the dead. The air was thick with the stench of decay, and disease lurked in the shadows. Something had to be done. In 1785, the decision was made to close the cemeteries and relocate the remains to the abandoned quarries. Thus began one of the most haunting chapters in Paris's history. Night after night, under the cloak of darkness, workers exhumed the bones of the dead. They loaded them into carts, draped in black cloth, and paraded them through the streets in solemn processions, accompanied by the tolling of bells and the flicker of torchlight. The bones were then carefully arranged in the tunnels, their final resting place. Skulls and femurs were stacked in neat rows, forming walls that stretched as far as the eye could see. It was a labor of reverence and necessity, a way to honor the dead while reclaiming the city above. But how did this macabre undertaking shape the soul of Paris? And what does it reveal about the city's relationship with its past? As you walk through the catacombs today, the weight of history presses down like the earth itself. The walls are lined with bones, arranged in intricate patterns, crosses, hearts, and arches crafted from the remains of those who once walked the streets above. Each skull, each femur, is a silent witness to a life lived and lost. Plaques inscribed with philosophical musings remind you of the fleeting nature of existence. One reads, "Think in the morning that you may not live until the evening, a gentle nudge to embrace the present. The air is cool and damp, the silence profound, broken only by the drip of water or the soft shuffle of footsteps. It is a place that invites reflection, a reminder that beneath the bustle of life lies a world of stillness." But the catacombs are not just a place of peace, they are a place of mystery. Over the years, legends have woven themselves into the fabric of the tunnels. One of the most famous is the story of Philibert Aspert, a doorkeeper who in 1793 ventured into the catacombs with a candle and a bottle of wine. He never returned. 11 years later, his body was found just steps from an exit, his candle long extinguished. His fate remains a mystery. Did he lose his way in the dark, or was he drawn deeper by some unseen force? His tale is a cautionary one, a reminder that the catacombs can be as treacherous as they are beautiful. The tunnels have also been a refuge for those seeking to escape the world above. During World War II, the French resistance used the catacombs as a hideout, their secret meetings held in the flickering light of lanterns. The Germans, too, found use for the tunnels, constructing bunkers deep underground. And in the 1980s, a new generation discovered the catacombs' allure. Urban explorers known as cataphiles, who slipped into the forbidden sections to hold secret gatherings, create art, or simply lose themselves in the maze. Their graffiti still marks the walls, a testament to the catacombs' enduring pull. What is it about this place that draws people into its depths, even at the risk of getting lost forever? The catacombs have also captured the imagination of artists and storytellers. Victor Hugo, in Les Miserables, described them as the dark side of Paris, a place where the city's underbelly comes to light. Filmmakers have used the tunnels as a backdrop for tales of horror and suspense, their shadowy corridors the perfect setting for stories of the supernatural. Some say the catacombs are haunted, that the spirits of the dead still wander the tunnels, their whispers carried on the drafts that flow through the darkness. Visitors have reported strange sounds, fleeting shadows, and a sense of being watched. Whether these are tricks of the mind or something more, the catacombs' eerie atmosphere is undeniable. Yet for all its mystery, the catacombs are also a place of beauty. The careful arrangement of the bones, the artistry in their design, speaks to a reverence for the dead that transcends time. The ossuaries are not just a burial site, they are a work of art, a monument to the fragility of life and the inevitability of death. As you stand before a wall of skulls, their empty eyes gazing back, you are reminded that each one was once a person with dreams, fears, and stories of their own. It is a humbling experience, one that invites you to reflect on your own place in the world. Today, only a small section of the catacombs is open to the public, a carefully curated path that guides visitors through the ossuaries and back to the surface. But the vast majority of the tunnels remain off limits, a sprawling maze that few dare to explore. Maps of the catacombs are closely guarded, and the risk of getting lost is ever present. Yet for some, the allure of the unknown is too strong to resist. Cataphiles continue to slip into the shadows, their flashlights piercing the dark as they seek out hidden chambers and forgotten corners. What treasures or terrors lie waiting in the uncharted depths? As you emerge from the catacombs, the contrast is striking. The noise of the city, the warmth of the sun, the rush of life. It all feels sharper, more vibrant after the stillness below. But the memory of the tunnels lingers, a quiet reminder that beneath the surface of our everyday lives lies a world of history, mystery, and the echoes of those who came before. The Paris catacombs are not just a burial ground, they are a mirror reflecting the city's past and the timeless dance between life and death. Aokigahara Forest, Japan, the sea of trees and shadows. Imagine a forest so dense that sunlight struggles to pierce its canopy, where the air is thick with silence and the ground is a tangled web of roots and moss. This is Aokigahara, a place of stark beauty and haunting mystery at the base of Mount Fuji in Japan. Known as the Sea of Trees, it stretches over 12 square miles, its ancient cedars and pines standing like silent sentinels. But beneath its serene exterior lies a darker tale, one of legends, spirits, and a sorrow that has seeped into its very soil. As we journey through the story of Aokigahara, we will explore its natural wonders, its cultural significance, and the shadows that linger in its depths. What secrets does this forest hold? And why has it become a place where life and death intertwine so closely? A forest born from fire. Aokigahara's story begins in the fiery heart of Mount Fuji. In 864 AD, a massive eruption spilled lava across the landscape, cooling into a rugged, uneven terrain. Over centuries, seeds carried by the wind took root in the volcanic soil, and a forest grew, a dense, sprawling woodland that seemed to swallow sound and light. The forest floor, covered in thick moss and twisted roots, creates a labyrinth where paths vanish and compasses spin wildly, as if the earth itself conspires to keep wanderers lost. This eerie silence and disorienting layout have earned Aokigahara a reputation as a place where nature holds sway, indifferent to human presence. But Aokigahara is not just a natural wonder, it is a place steeped in history. During Japan's feudal era, the forest was a refuge for those fleeing war or persecution. Samurai, monks, and villagers sought solace in its depths. Their footsteps long faded, but their stories woven into the forest's fabric. In the 19th century, Aokigahara became a site of ubasute, a grim practice where elderly family members were abandoned in times of famine. These tales of survival and despair have left an indelible mark, turning the forest into a place where the past refuses to rest. What echoes of these lost souls still linger among the trees? Whispers of the spirit world. In Japanese folklore, Aokigahara is a place where the veil between worlds is thin. Legends speak of yurei, restless spirits who wander the forest, their mournful cries carried on the wind. These ghosts, often depicted in flowing white robes with long dark hair, are said to be the souls of those who died in despair, forever trapped in the forest's embrace. The most famous tale is that of the Onryo, a vengeful spirit who seeks retribution for wrongs suffered in life. Visitors have reported strange sounds, whispers, footsteps, and even voices calling their names. Are these the echoes of the forest's tragic past, or simply the mind playing tricks in the stillness? The forest's connection to the spirit world is also reflected in its cultural significance. Aokigahara is often seen as a liminal space, a threshold between life and death. In Shinto belief, forests are sacred, home to kami or spirits that protect the land. But Aokigahara's spirits are restless, their presence a reminder of the forest's dual nature as both a place of beauty and sorrow. This duality has made Aokigahara a symbol in Japanese literature and art, where it is often portrayed as a place of reflection, loss, and the search for meaning. What is it about this forest that stirs the soul so deeply? The forest in modern times. Aokigahara's story took a darker turn in the 20th century when it became known as a site where many choose to end their lives. The forest's isolation and eerie silence have made it a tragic destination for those seeking solitude in their final moments. This somber reality has earned Aokigahara the nickname Suicide Forest, a title that overshadows its natural beauty. The exact number of lives lost here is unknown, but the forest's association with death has become a part of its identity. Efforts to address this issue are ongoing. Signs posted at the forest's entrances urge visitors to reconsider, offering helpline numbers and messages of hope. Local authorities and volunteers patrol the trails, offering support to those who may be struggling. These efforts are a testament to the community's desire to reclaim Aokigahara as a place of life and beauty, not despair. But the forest's reputation persists, a shadow that refuses to lift. How did Aokigahara come to bear this burden? And what can be done to heal its wounded soul? a place of quiet beauty. Despite its somber reputation, Aokigahara is a place of profound natural beauty. The forest is home to a rich tapestry of life, ancient trees, vibrant mosses, and delicate wildflowers that bloom in the dappled light. Its caves, formed by lava flows, offer a glimpse into the Earth's fiery past, their cool, dark chambers, a refuge from the summer heat. The Ice Cave and Wind Cave, with their year-round ice formations, are popular destinations for visitors seeking to explore the forest's hidden wonders. For those who venture into Aokigahara with respect and care, the forest reveals its gentler side. The air is filled with the scent of pine and earth, and the silence is broken only by the rustle of leaves or the call of a distant bird. It is a place where one can feel truly alone with nature, a sanctuary for reflection and renewal. But it is also a place that demands caution. Its dense undergrowth and lack of clear paths make it easy to lose one's way. What lessons can we learn from this forest, where beauty and danger walk hand in hand? A forest that lives on. Aokigahara is more than a place. It is a paradox, a forest where life and death, beauty and sorrow coexist in delicate balance. Its story is a reminder that even the most tranquil landscapes can hold shadows, and that history, like the forest itself, is a tapestry of light and dark. As we leave Aokigahara behind, we carry with us the whispers of its trees, the echoes of its spirits, and the quiet hope that one day it will be remembered not for its tragedies, but for its timeless grace. Area 51, USA, the Enigma in the Nevada Desert. Deep in the heart of the Nevada Desert, where the sun scorches the earth and the wind whispers through the tumbleweeds, lies a place that has captured the world's imagination. Area 51, what began as a modest military outpost, has grown into a legend, a tale woven with hidden truths, shadowy figures, and questions that linger like mirages on the horizon. From top-secret flight tests to whispers of extraterrestrial visitors, Area 51 stands as a symbol of mystery. But what turned this remote patch of land into the epicenter of conspiracy theories? And why does it still hold us in its grip today? The birth of a secret. Let's step back to the 1950s, when the Cold War cast a chilling shadow over the globe. The United States, locked in a tense standoff with the Soviet Union, needed an edge, something to keep their rivals guessing. Enter Area 51, a desolate spot near Groom Lake, chosen for its isolation. In 1955, the CIA established a secret testing ground here for the U-2 spy plane, a marvel of engineering that could soar above 70,000 feet, beyond the reach of enemy radar. Why this location? Picture it. A vast, empty desert, ringed by rugged mountains, standing like silent sentinels. No prying eyes, no wandering souls, just the perfect canvas for secrets to unfold. The U-2 took flight, its silver frame slicing through the sky, gathering intelligence that tipped the scales of power. But the U-2 was only the beginning. What else was being built in those hidden hangars? What machines or mysteries lay in wait? Strange lights in the night. By the late 1950s, odd lights began flickering across the Nevada sky. Drivers along Highway 375, later dubbed the Extraterrestrial Highway, reported glowing orbs darting through the night, defying the laws of physics. Were these the U-2 planes, catching the last rays of sunlight at unimaginable heights? Or was something else at play? The government stayed silent, and that silence fueled speculation. By the 1980s, Area 51 had transcended its role as a mere base. It had become a myth. Then came Bob Lazar. In 1989, Lazar stepped into the spotlight, claiming he'd worked at a site called S4, just south of Area 51. His story? He'd seen alien spacecraft, flying saucers powered by an element called 115, reverse engineered from technology not of this world. Was Lazar a whistleblower or a fabulist? The truth slips away like sand through your fingers. His claims couldn't be verified, but they struck a nerve. Suddenly, Area 51 wasn't just a military secret, it was a cosmic enigma. Could the government really be hiding extraterrestrial guests? And if so, why? The storming craze. Fast forward to 2019, when the internet buzzed with a wild idea: Storm Area 51. A Facebook event, started as a joke, exploded into a cultural phenomenon. Millions pledged to raid the base and see them aliens. The military issued stern warnings, but the event tapped into something deeper. People craved answers. What was so valuable that it required such fierce protection? On the day of the raid, only a handful showed up, some wearing tinfoil hats, others waving signs like Free ET. It felt more like a party than a siege, but it left a lingering question. Why does Area 51 still wield such power over us? Is it the allure of the unknown, or the fear that we've been deceived all along? Shadows of stealth technology. Let's peel back the layers. Beyond the alien lore, Area 51 has a tangible history tied to innovation. After the U-2 came the SR-71 Blackbird, a jet so fast it could outrun missiles, its titanium skin gleaming like a phantom in the sky. Then there was the F-117 Nighthawk, a stealth fighter with sharp angles that scattered radar like confetti. These weren't science fiction. They were breakthroughs, born in the desert's embrace. But here's the twist. As technology advanced, the sightings grew stranger. Test flights at odd hours, experimental designs cutting through the night. Could these explain the UFO reports? Or were they a convenient cover for something bigger? Imagine a pilot, sworn to secrecy, watching a craft hover motionless before vanishing in a blink. What would you think if you saw that? The desert speaks. The landscape itself feeds the mystery. Groom Lake, a dry salt flat, shimmers like a mirror under the sun, reflecting emptiness. The air hums with a living stillness, as if holding its breath. Locals talk of unmarked helicopters, black as night, patrolling the perimeter, their blades slicing through the quiet. Trespassers, they're met with armed guards and signs promising deadly force. What's worth guarding with such ferocity? Some say it's just military pragmatism, new drones, hypersonic weapons, the next generation of war machines. Others whisper of underground tunnels stretching beneath the sand, hiding secrets too wild to fathom. What do you believe? Or is the truth a mix of both, reason and madness intertwined? A voice from the past. Consider this. In 1996, a man named Victor claimed to have intercepted a transmission from Area 51. His voice, trembling with awe, described footage of an alien autopsy, a frail gray being dissected on a slab under harsh light. The video aired on TV, sparking debates that echo today: hoax or history. The grainy film raised more questions than answers, but it planted a seed. What if? Victor's tale echoes Lazar's, two voices from the shadows, daring us to listen. Are they pieces of the same puzzle or clever distractions from the real game? In 2013, the government declassified some Area 51 documents, confirming its role in spy plane testing. But the deeper you dig, the murkier it gets. What haven't they told us? The edge of wonder. Here's where it gets dizzying. Imagine standing at Area 51's boundary, the desert stretching endlessly before you. The air tastes of dust and secrets, and the mountains loom like guardians of the unknown. What's beyond that fence? A hangar full of drones or a vault of cosmic relics? Theories swirl like dust devils, time travel experiments, interdimensional portals, even a staged moon landing. Absurd? Maybe. But in a place where reality bends, who can say? One thing's certain, Area 51 thrives at the edge of possibility, a riddle wrapped in illusion. Will we ever know the full story, or is the mystery the whole point? So as the sun dips below the horizon, casting long shadows across the sand, ask yourself, what do you think they're hiding? Is it a truth too vast to grasp, or a lie too clever to unravel? The desert keeps its secrets, for now. The sliding stones of Death Valley, USA, the desert's silent wanderers. In the heart of California's Death Valley, where the sun blazes mercilessly and the earth cracks under its heat, lies a place that defies logic. Here, on a dry lake bed known as the Racetrack Playa, stones move across the desert floor, leaving long, winding trails behind them. These are the sliding stones, a mystery that has puzzled scientists and explorers for decades. How do these rocks, some weighing hundreds of pounds, glide across the playa without human or animal intervention? What invisible force guides their silent journey? As we reach the final chapter of our journey through the world's most mysterious places, let us explore the story of the sliding stones, a tale of nature's secrets, human curiosity, and the quiet wonders of the desert. What lies behind this enigma? And what can it teach us about the world we thought we knew? A desert like no other. Imagine a land where the air shimmers with heat and the horizon stretches endlessly in every direction. Death Valley, the hottest and driest place in North America, is a landscape of extremes. Temperatures can soar to 130 degrees Fahrenheit, 54 degrees Celsius, and rain is a rare visitor, with some years passing without a single drop. Yet within this harsh environment lies the Racetrack Playa, a flat, dry lake bed that becomes the stage for one of nature's most baffling phenomena. The playa itself is a vast, cracked expanse of mud, baked hard by the sun. Scattered across its surface are stones, some small, others as large as boulders, each with a trail etched into the ground behind it. These trails, some stretching over 1,500 feet, tell a story of movement, yet no one has ever seen the stones move. It is as if the desert itself comes alive under the cover of night, nudging the stones along their mysterious paths. But what could cause such a phenomenon? Was it the winds, the rain, or something more elusive? The mystery takes shape. The first recorded observations of the sliding stones date back to the early 20th century, when prospectors and explorers began venturing into Death Valley's remote corners. They marveled at the trails but could find no explanation for how the stones moved. Some speculated that strong winds pushed the rocks across the slippery mud, while others whispered of magnetic fields or even extraterrestrial forces. The mystery deepened as scientists visited the playa, only to leave with more questions than answers. In the 1950s, geologists began studying the phenomenon in earnest. They mapped the trails, measured the stones, and even placed markers to track their movement. Yet, despite their efforts, the stones remained stubbornly still during their visits. It seemed the desert was guarding its secret closely, revealing it only when no one was watching. What would it take to unlock the truth? And how long would the stones keep their silence? Theories and speculations. Over the decades, numerous theories emerged to explain the sliding stones. One popular idea was that strong winds, gusting across the flat playa, pushed the stones along when the ground was wet and slippery. But this theory had a flaw. Some stones were too heavy to be moved by wind alone. Others suggested that ice played a role, forming around the stones and allowing them to float across the playa on a thin layer of water. Yet Death Valley's scorching temperatures made this seem unlikely. Another theory proposed that seismic activity, tiny earthquakes, nudged the stones along, but there was no evidence to support this. Some even ventured into the realm of the supernatural, suggesting that the stones were guided by spirits or ancient curses. The mystery became a magnet for curiosity, drawing adventurers and scientists alike to the racetrack playa. What was it about this place that refused to yield its secret? The breakthrough. The turning point came in 2011 when a team of researchers from the Scripps Institution of Oceanography set out to solve the puzzle once and for all. They installed time-lapse cameras, weather stations, and GPS trackers on the stones, determined to capture the moment of movement. For years, they waited, their equipment silently recording the playa's every whisper. Then, in December 2013, the desert finally revealed its hand. A rare combination of events unfolded. A light rain fell, filling the playa with a shallow layer of water. As temperatures dropped, a thin sheet of ice formed overnight. The next morning, as the sun rose and the ice began to melt, gentle winds pushed the broken ice sheets across the water. These ice sheets, in turn, nudged the stones, causing them to glide slowly across the playa. The trails were not the work of magic or mystery, but of nature's delicate balance: wind, water, and ice working in harmony. What had once seemed impossible was now explained, yet the wonder remained. How had such a simple solution eluded us for so long? A lesson from the desert. The story of the sliding stones is more than a scientific curiosity. It is a reminder of nature's quiet power and the value of patience. For decades, the stones moved unseen, their secrets safe in the desert's embrace. It took a perfect alignment of conditions and years of dedication to uncover the truth. In a world that often demands quick answers, the sliding stones teach us that some mysteries unfold only in their own time. Today, visitors to Death Valley can stand on the racetrack playa and marvel at the stones and their trails, knowing the story behind their silent journey. The playa remains a place of stark beauty, its cracked surface a canvas for nature's artistry. And though the mystery has been solved, the sense of wonder lingers, a testament to the desert's ability to surprise and inspire. A farewell to our journey. As we leave the sliding stones behind, we bring our journey through the world's most mysterious places to a close. From the ancient stones of Stonehenge to the fiery depths of the door to hell, From the silent forests of Aokigahara to the hidden tunnels of Paris, each place has offered us a glimpse into the unknown, a chance to wonder, to question, and to dream. These mysteries remind us that the world is full of secrets, some waiting to be uncovered, others content to remain in shadow. Thank you, dear listener, for joining us on this enchanting journey. As you drift into sleep, may the stories of these remarkable places linger in your dreams, carrying you to distant lands and timeless wonders. Rest well and let the whispers of the world's mysteries guide you into a peaceful night. Good night.